Hi, everybody, and welcome to part 4 of how to keep your Amazon business thriving during a crisis. I'm Richard Olberger, the host of the Richard Listens Show, and thank you for all you have been tuning in, sharing with your friends and family. I know that this is a crazy time for all of the world, across the world, quarantined, and we thank you for budgeting a little bit of time with us to be live, and we welcome you to put your questions, thoughts for our guest today regarding how to manage your Amazon-based business or survive an internet e-commerce business through the crisis. And we hope to be adding value and providing a resource to you. If you haven't checked me out on Instagram, please check out the Richard Listens podcast on iTunes or Spotify, or go to my patreon.com/Richard Listens account to see some special content, including the previous episodes of this live panel coming to you. And on a very special day today. Today, of course, along with the quarantine, entering month 2 here. I think we're 5 weeks in already. Time is kind of floating in space. We also giving tribute today to Holocaust Remembrance Day being celebrated in Israel. So thank you to our guests today. We have Mrs. Valeria Aharon, who is the Senior Business Manager for Payoneer, which is an app, and she'll tell us about what they do and how they're managing through the crisis. And we also have Mr. Gilad Freiman, who helps with he's the founder of the Virtual Assistant Academy based out of the Philippines. And we all know how, or you'll find out more about how virtual assistants are being used and can help you in your business during this time. Without further ado, it's not about me, it's about my guests and about all of your questions out there listening. Welcome to the show, Valeria.
Hi, Richard, and thank you for inviting me today. And
thank you to PPC Winner for having all of us here. Thank
Definitely.
you for hosting this and sponsoring this. Tell us a little bit, Valeria, where are you based out of, and what does Payoneer do? It's an app, correct?
So Payoneer is not really an app. We're a financial payment solution. We do work online. So it's an online payment solution where, for example, we can support a lot of Amazon sellers. So when someone is opening an account, he would receive a local bank account in various countries, in Europe, US, UK, and then he can use those accounts to receive payments. So sellers who sell on Amazon need those bank accounts in order to receive their payments. So this is our expertise, but Amazon is just one example. We distribute all the payments for Airbnb, Google, Facebook, Taboola, and other companies. So really, that's our expertise.
So you provide a solution for people setting up and maintaining their businesses financially. And where are you based out of?
So I'm based in our Israeli office, and I'm responsible for the Middle East area of our clients.
Yes, and have you guys seen more businesses opening? Like what trends have you seen during the crisis?
So definitely we work with different type of clients. So yeah, we see some sellers go down, some sellers go up. Really depends on what they sell, of course. With different type of clients like freelancers, B2B, I think it depends. My sense of view is that so far we haven't seen major differences in most of our business. But definitely we can sense a lot of different spikes.
Yeah. And what have you found in your expertise about one strategy for people to thrive in a crisis with their Amazon-based businesses?
Even without the coronavirus, I'm always looking at Amazon sellers and I'm saying, wow, they work hard, they work a lot, and I really appreciate everything they do. But during this time, I think it's mostly about keeping the community, trying to engage with other sellers, see what they do, and try to give advice to each other. This is my opinion, of course. But looking at what's happening, then definitely two things I would recommend is one, make sure that you're working with the right suppliers that that can support you at this time. And of course, a side note is to make sure that the payment solution you are using is something that is a payment solution that can support you at this time, someone stable. Yeah, that's my feedback.
Well, that's a great point, because any delays in receiving your payment is, you know, is a loss, right? So you mentioned creating community. Have you found any successful ways for business owners to create that online, or are there forums for them to go to, or specific ones created in the COVID situation?
So, well, one, we have in Payoneer our blogs, so definitely they can read more there. We do publish quite a lot of stories and maybe even solutions. When the FBA, Amazon didn't accept any orders anymore, then we created a full list of other solutions they can use with like special benefits. So definitely that's something I would recommend to go and check. Regardless, of course, I know there's various Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups that they can check, and that's something I would recommend to do.
Beautiful. And what is one way that your company's adjusting during this time? One way you're operating differently, or that you've shifted, maybe for the better?
Right. I think it's this answer is actually has a few parts of it, because from one end, where we are 1,200 people company that in one day literally had to go and start working from home. But since obviously we are a high-tech company, then we used to work from home in different times of the year. So from the technical part, it was easier. But yeah, I mean, I think it was very interesting experience. We do make more calls, as probably you are also, so really a lot of teams. And the way we manage our employees is completely different. We make sure we do our daily calls with the teams every day. We think we put information that we didn't put before in the systems. We just make sure we have track of everything. And from my side, I even see that some people, and me specifically, were even more efficient, right? Because you don't have that separation like you had before, work, home, sports. Now you are basically working from home. So definitely even more efficient in a way. And for the last part, really, that we really care. We really want to put our customers first. And I think employees are doing more efforts now in order to make sure that we stand and we do what we need to do for the clients and for the business.
Yeah, but you touched on some really wonderful points there, and just to highlight them before we bring on Gilad, who's been waiting patiently. First of all, right, that keeping a team of 1,200 people and the amount of teams and communication really requires a lot of work, and the importance of that, of making employees feel connected, even when they're isolated in their own homes, really important. We're more efficient now, but please, as this goes on, people have to leave times for transitions. Please book your 30-minute yoga slot into your Zoom meetings or something, right? Because it does become really more intense. We're sitting more. I heard that, there's ergonomic issues now coming up. So the longer this goes on, the longer we have to balance it out. But it's incredible, the benefits as we have to, like you said, adapt for these changing environments and what can be learned. And thank you so much for offering that perspectives, and anything you can share on your blogs about adapting a team of that size is really incredible contribution to the community. Okay, we'll be back with Valeria. If you have questions for her, please put them in the chat box. In the meantime, thank you, Valeria.
Thanks,
We're going to
Richard.
welcome. Thank you. Gilad Freiman, welcome to the cast. How are you doing today?
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm great. Thank you.
What time is it where you are?
Same time as Valeria. It's like 8:50, 8:40, something like that. And
Great. Okay.
yeah,
Just in time to stream the last season of Ozarks, right? So,
when you have two kids, two babies at home, then it's not really the time for that. But we're trying to manage to jingle with everything.
wow,
By the
parents
way,
with young children, I really have to offer them a lot of support. Kids climbing up the walls and
all day, all day. Yeah, it's really becoming like the challenge of the day is to find some time to work in between and helping with the kids and and you cannot really go out. Yeah, it's a very challenging time, but
yes,
a
well,
lot
they
of good
haven't
ideas are
broken
coming
into
from
you.
there.
They haven't broken into your meeting yet, and we want to respect your time. So, getting you in your professional hat, tell us a little bit about your virtual assistant academy and one strategy you're using to thrive in this crisis,
All right.
or Amazon-based businesses are.
All right. So first of all, I mean, in addition to becoming to being the founder of VA Academy, I'm also a very happy customer of Pioneer in the same time. I mean, we've been using Pioneer as clients. All our clients are paying us by Pioneer, and we pay all our VAs in Pioneer, and it's working great. But to your question, what we do is we founded VA Academy in order to help Amazon sellers to focus on growth and managing their business instead of doing everything themselves. So the way we do it, we connect them with highly skilled and filtered virtual assistants from the Philippines, whom we filter and train specifically on Amazon. We're all focused on Amazon, and we connect them and support them throughout the year, giving them more trainings and making sure that the sellers know how to work with virtual assistants that they are working from their homes in the Philippines.
Yes, and so how has your business had to adapt to this crisis, or were you already virtual based and working with virtual assistants? So were you set up for this?
Well, there are two sides of it because we have the community of VAs that suddenly, they are in the same situation as ours, but from the very beginning, their cognition is much more difficult in the Philippines. So we had to adapt and to help them with payments and with other help that we can. They're working from their homes. So for them, it's a very big advantage that they could continue to work in the same time. However, the challenge was to face with the sellers, as Valeria said. Some sellers are selling now actually much more because they're selling essentials. And the other part of the sellers are seeing, very reduced amount of sales. So with them, we had to adapt. They have one or two or three VAs, and suddenly now they don't have the same amount of things to give them to do. So the challenge was to be flexible with them, to give them ideas what they can do and how they can profit from this time, even with less sales, what they can do in this time in order for prepare themselves for the day after.
That's terrific. And so sounds like they're feeling reassured with having resources out there like Payoneer. Any particular ways in which you've had to adapt that you can help Amazon-based businesses out there that are scrambling, that are figuring out, how long this is going to go on for and something they can do or shift to be successful?
Yeah, I think that you always have to think of the day after, and the day after is coming, and you should take advantage of using this time to all these things that you always said that you're going to postpone. So a lot of our sellers now started to open, for example, their social media channels, starting to have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, starting to communicate with their customers in a way that they didn't have before because they just didn't have time. They were focusing on sales. And maybe starting to build the base of your business, all the SOPs, building the structure of your business, working better with your VAs. This is the time to prepare everything. So when sales come back again, you're already one step ahead of everybody else. So that's pretty much what we're helping other sellers to do right now to make them more prepared for when things are coming back.
And your company offers virtual assistants in what fields?
It's all about Amazon. So we're all focused on e-commerce and specifically on Amazon. We have VAs that were trained for anything related to Seller Central. So that's customer service and shipments and sourcing new products to launch, and PPC, and also social media. The idea would be to listen to our customers to understand where are they stuck at, where they don't have time to do the things themselves and they wish somebody could help them with, and that's where we are at. So the idea would be to find the best VAs for these specific jobs, to make sure that they're here for the long run, to make sure that they are, they have great English, great capabilities, to support these Filipinos as a community, so they will stay with us for the long run, and then make sure that everything goes well with the clients, with the Amazon sellers.
Terrific. And we're here live on the cast talking about how to help Amazon businesses thrive during a crisis. Gilad, you mentioned a personal note. I always like to ask that, what's one fun fact about you, and one creative way you're helping manage a business with young children at home? Because I know people out there are struggling.
Well, managing kids at home, it's a very challenging. I don't know if it's that funny. What we do is, a lot of times I'm making phone calls with customers. I'm bringing my kids with me to join the conversation. I think it helps the stress, both of me and the customers, and it shows that we're all in the same boat here. Everybody, I'm talking to people. I talked today with Amazon sellers from Dubai, from Austria, from the United States, and from the UK, and everybody were sitting at home, have nothing to do except for being at home. So we're all in the same place in here. So the fact that you just show yourself as you are and saying, okay, I'm talking from my kitchen maybe, but I'm here to help you.
Yes, I'm having a lot of animal-assisted therapy sessions these days. Dogs are part of the session, so people are much happier. Okay, before we sign off today, and please, if you have questions out there, please, we'll make sure we get them to Valeria or Gilad. We'll go back to Valeria with closing thoughts and ways that our listeners can reach you.
Sure. Yeah, well, first they can locate me on LinkedIn, as well as we can just write maybe my contact information when we post the live. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, closing thoughts for our listeners. One tip.
Sure. Well, since I have no kids yet, I would definitely recommend people to really try to write their schedule in the morning. And as you said, really schedule one thing they want to do for themselves during that day. Whether it's Zoom, doing yoga or meditation, or cooking something good for yourself, just to feel good. That's definitely something I do and helpful for me.
Yes, I have a 3-week trial on New York Times cooking class, so I'm going to go make a fool of myself in the kitchen. Thank you. I'm not sharing recipes yet. Okay, that's a great tool. Thank you. Right, we have people out there isolated, with kids, without kids, a variety of scenarios where it's not easy on anybody, but there are unique opportunities in each of these situations. Thank you so much, Valeria, and we will have her contact in the show notes should you want to learn more about Payoneer and their services. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks.
And Gilad, closing thoughts, ways to contact you.
Well, they can either contact me directly, but you're probably gonna show my info over there. But they can contact our services, which is vaaphilippines.com, or visit our Facebook page. And it's only about Amazon. So I would say that the closing thoughts for Amazon sellers with VAs, because these are the people that I'm in contact with every day, is to think that this is a great opportunity for both of you. Also for the VA, if you're showing your VA that you're not firing them, you're with them all the way. You can either reduce the hours but stay with them, and they will understand how important they are for the company, for your business, and then you will see 10 times growth after that, and they will really give their heart and soul to you because you stay with them when it got tough.
I really appreciate you saying that, Gilad, because when we think virtual assistant and you're seeing, obviously, a picture of someone, not even, we think it's distant, it's not personal. And especially when there's language communications, this really pushes the next level of like, there still is a human being on the other end who's committed, who's working hard, who's sending something work to you in the middle of the night. And so working through the communication barriers, getting to a shared vision and commitment to your work is still there. And so I know a lot of business owners having to work on furloughs and cut hours and things like that, but staying committed and trying to keep your team together seems to be a universal theme. So I appreciate you representing that and how important they can be to your Amazon-based business. Well, thank you both for joining us today. Thank you for PPC Winner for keeping this panel alive. Please, listeners, we need to hear from you. We want to provide more value and answer your questions. We will be looking in the chat for your questions and direct them appropriately if we weren't able to address them during our cast live today. Thank you, Valeria and Gilad for sharing your time, mixed your schedules. I hope you scheduled in 5 minutes for hydration and push-ups or whatever you're going to do in between. Maybe Gilad's going to get a 20-minute nap. But thank you all for tuning in and staying with us weekly. We should be back here same time next week, Monday morning, representing challenges that you're going through as business owners who run Amazon-based businesses. And if there's a topic or tool that you're needing, please reach out to us or to Yuval Ben-Nun, the CEO of PPC Winner, so we can bring guests on that represent the challenges you're facing. Again, I'm Richard Listens. Please check me out. We'll have 2 new shows per week, and we appreciate your support and checking in. And thank you again to our guests and our listeners for making themselves available today.
Thank
I'm
you,
Richard Listens. Thank you, and I'm out.